Here's Paul. Dallas has a foul to give. Booker on a three. He got it! Devin Booker gives Phoenix a 1-point lead with
5 from long range. Durant's got 11. Craig goes down. Durant has got a highlight.
Remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
Bryant for the win. Bang! Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Bits podcast. And we are back at school finally, so we're gonna have a lot more content coming up, especially for the midseason mark. Especially because of what All-Star break and possible midseason MVPs, all this stuff coming in the works. So yeah, look out for that, and we are going to jump right into this because we have quite a bit to talk about, including a recent debate that came up with the 2017 Warriors versus the 96 Bulls. So that'll be towards the end of the episode, so stick around for that. But for right now, let's get into a quick little news segment. I personally wanted to talk about this trade. It's a low-key trade, but I think there's a lot of implications for the player and also for the team that that player got traded to. But for Cam Reddish, he got traded to the Knicks. And, of course, the Knicks and Hawks traded. So the Knicks received Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill, and a 2025 second-round pick via Brooklyn. And then the Hawks received Kevin Knox, a 2022 first-round pick via Charlotte. So, personally, it's not much. I don't see much out of this other than Cam Reddish gets a new team to show off his skills at and maybe get paid because it is the last year of his contract. So we'll see what the Knicks do with that. But what are y'all thoughts on that initially when you saw that?
I like this trade. Jay,
So
I like Cam Reddish, so I'm actually pretty into this trade. He's been dealing with some injuries, not a whole lot of playing time. There's a really crowded rotation on the Hawks right now in terms of wing players. So I think this is going to be really good for him personally. We'll see how he does. It's going to really come down. I think we all know his offensive ability. I think a lot of it's going to come down to his defensive ability because we know how Tibbs and the Knicks are right now. They're a pretty defensive-minded team. I don't think their defensive rating is too good right now, but I know last year it really was. Tibbs still likes to focus a lot on defense. So if he can defend multiple positions and if he can, use the length that he has, reaching those passing lanes and kind of just be a relatively good wing defender. And I see him getting a lot of minutes, and I think he's going to get a bag as well. He's definitely going to be able to show off his skills. I like it.
I think this is super interesting. I'm really actually going to take a weird side to this a little bit, but I think it's super cool that RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish are back together again. They're going to be balling out. Yeah, and they played at the same college, and they're gonna be balling out together. I think they're gonna have a lot of good chemistry, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll see where it goes with it. I mean, who knows? We've seen guys who've played together at college before in the league, and it's worked out well. Sometimes it hasn't, but who knows? These guys are young; they could definitely develop together into a really good squad. So I think that's super interesting for the Knicks. As far as the Hawks go, I don't really see a certain a full take back from this other than the pick, to be honest. But I think Kevin Knox is kind of a bum. He was. I'm gonna be straight.
No,
up.
I mean I completely glossed over the fact that Solomon Hill and Kevin Knox were in this trade as well.
Yeah.
I just talked about Cam.
Yeah, it's the fact that Solomon Hill's Solomon Hill. It was just there. Kevin Knox, he had a lot of potential. A couple of years ago when he was drafted, and he literally has done nothing. Obi Toppin is better than him, and it's just blatant to see all that already. So it's for me, it's very disappointing to see Kevin Knox, somebody who was so hyped up for a couple of years ago in the draft, and just absolute dog water.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing too much on the Hawks.
He ain't going to develop very well in the Knicks, because they've been poorly managed this whole time ever since before Tibbs came in, and then now Tibbs is actually doing a decent job, I think, so far with the Knicks. Honestly, I think Cam Reddish and again, I agree with you, Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett are a great pairing. A lot of people are talking about get Zion in there, get the Duke trio back together. The Duke trio could be killer in the NBA.
If Zion ever plays again.
If he ever plays again, that's also another thing, so they don't know how that's going to work out. Yeah, I think my main logic, my main thought, thinking when it comes to this trade is that I think the Hawks don't have money and they don't want to pay money to Cam Reddish when it comes time for his contract at the end, and I think the Knicks have money for it, so that's why they trade to the Knicks, and then the Knicks obviously get another good, shot creating, mad defender at best. I feel like he's mainly an offensive guy.
Pay John Collins and Trae Young. So yeah, I feel like they don't really have like a whole lot of room for like a big player like Cam Reddish, especially if he does.
And Harter.
And Harter, yeah. They're paying Harter. And I don't know Gallinari's contract, but some part of me wants to say that he's being overpaid right now by them.
Yep.
But I'm not sure what his exact contract is.
I'm gonna look at that right now just to make sure. Yeah, so yeah, they're already paying John Collins $23 million, and then they have Gallinari on 21, Bogdanovich at 18 million.
You say Gallinari at $21 million?
Yeah, it's 20.5 this year and then 21 next year. Clint Capella, really good. Yeah,
that's so bad.
But Clint Capella on one of the best contracts as a defensive center. It's a 17 currently, and it goes up to 22 in 2024. I like that contract.
Good, though.
That's a steal for the Hawks.
I think so. And Trae Young is he got extended. That's probably why they can't afford him. They extended him this year.
Last year, I'm pretty sure.
Or last year or this year, and he's getting paid $39 million in 2026. That means only getting paid $40 million in 2026.
But I still can't get over Gallinari getting paid 21. That's so crazy.
How the hell is that guy who's like, how old is that guy? That guy's
like 30. What is he, like 33, 34?
I can look at that right now. He is 33.
33 years old. You're getting paid over 20 mil?
Yep.
Dude, this guy had never barely averaged over 21 season.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. Like, he was a really good piece for them Hawks, but 21 mil, I don't know about that.
He's just been he's out of his peak. So, and at his peak, he was really good. He's scoring almost 20 a night, shooting almost 45% from three.
He's a good shooter for sure.
But currently,
21 mil?
He's starting to get old and starting to regress, so that's not good. But yeah, that's probably why they couldn't afford him. And plus, they possibly, I think they're trying to save that money for actually, what is his name? DeAndre Hunter. I think they'd rather keep Hunter than Reddish right now, just as a defensive wing, as a small forward, and probably going to trade Gallo so they can put Hunter in the starting lineup. That's probably what their plan is. That's my assumption. I don't know if you guys have any different thoughts about it. And also, another person to note, Kevin Harter is also getting paid decent amount of money. So
I think Kevin Harter deserves it, though. In my opinion, he's good for them.
Yeah. So for the Knicks, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. They thought they signed a great scoring two-way player in Evan Fournier, but that didn't turn out that well. So we'll see what Cam Reddish does. So
I don't see this really being bad for the Knicks at all. I mean, all they lost was Kevin Knox and 2022 first-round pick, I guess. But I don't see this working out poorly for the Knicks, in any capacity, really.
I just noticed a pattern here, and that's all I'm saying. Is that Fournier blue, Kemba blue, Cam might blow.
He might. We don't. It might be the Knicks' curse. The Knicks might just be cursing every single point guard since Derrick Rose got injured.
Yeah,
not Derrick Rose. What's his name?
Yeah. Okay. So it's only when Celtics go to the Knicks. So, as long as they don't get another Celtics player, they'll be fine.
Hey, the Hawks could be the reverse. The Hawks giving people to the Knicks. That could be a good sign. Could be the opposite.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe we'll see. Yeah, maybe there's some weird mojo going on where Kevin Knox is gonna blow the hell up. You know?
He could. He could.
Probably not.
Probably not, but he could.
You never know.
Anyway,
don't count the man's out.
Yeah, that's the only news we really had for this week. But for the next segment, we're going to do another rookie report. But it's for the midseason. We have a lot of rookies that have gone up and gone down throughout the season. And the first one I want to talk about, actually, I don't know if you want to talk about Reed, but I want to talk about it because he's on my fantasy team. And absolutely, I've been following him hard. And also, I've been following the Raptors really hard because of him. But Scotty Barnes, leading the rookies in minutes and also probably the front runner next to Jalen Green. Next to Evan Mobley as the rookie of the year, because I think he's been a major role player and impact player for the Raptors.
James does say.
I'm going to say that.
We'll get into it in a minute, but I just want to mention dark horse Franz Wagner. We will talk about him later.
Wagner is crazy right now.
Yeah, but we are going to go over.
Yeah, we are going to go over all the top rookies that we had in our last segment, and also, we're going to talk about all the rookies we had talked about last segment.
I think there's only 2 rookies in this segment that we did not talk about last segment. Yeah. So, actually, I think it's only 1. But, we'll talk about him when he comes out. James already said it's Franz Wagner. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but for Scotty Barnes, averaging 14 points a game, not basically 8 rebounds, 3 assists. That's pretty average numbers. But I think his main like shining, I guess, stat or trait is his defense. Again, he fits in that Raptors like gritty defensive kind of place, or not play style, but like I guess system, because they've got Pascal Siakam back. They got Fred VanVleet. They're all dogs. They all play hard on defense, and they play really well on offense. So I think he was honestly, everyone was thinking that was the worst pick in the whole draft. But looking at it now, with hindsight, that was a great pick for the Raptors, and this could be an amazing, I guess, step forward for the Raptors since OG Anunoby's starting to take a step forward, and everybody else, and they got Gary Trent, so they have a lot of good pieces that could develop into a great team in the future. So Scotty Barnes, look out for him for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I like watching Scotty Barnes play. He's really good in transition as well. Like he's just like fast, he's big. And he just gets to the rack. He's a really good finisher as well.
Yeah, he's solid.
All right.
We'll talk about
we'll switch it up. We'll switch it up. I'm not going to take all of them. I just want to talk about Scotty Barnes. So I'm really excited about him.
Scotty Barnes is an absolute dog. I love Scotty. But so we talked about this guy last time. Right now we're going to go into Josh Giddey. So last time we talked about Josh Giddey, we were saying a lot of what he did was really good. He was a good rebounder, good passer, arguably one of the better playmakers in I think he's top 3 playmakers in this draft class right now. But so he turned up his scoring from last time. We said that was a bit of an issue. He was only scoring 9.5 a game. I say only 9.5 a game. It's really not that bad. But he turned it up a little bit. He's shooting 11.5 points per game, scoring 11.5 points per game. My bad. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. So he's pretty much got it all. His scoring, if he wants to become really like a first scoring option, he's going to have to turn it up a little bit. But I think right now what he's doing for the OKC Thunder is really good. They already have Shea as their main scorer. They have a super young core. So I think Josh Giddey is going to be there for a while. And, they kind of just have to really use like this young core to develop them around. I really like what Josh Giddey is doing. He's great. Also, youngest player in NBA history to triple-double at 19 years old. Good for him.
I think that Josh Giddey's a great player. I think that he's, like you said, he's doing great for the Thunder, especially for that kind of young core team. I think that he's definitely making more of a facilitated role as Shea. He can pass the ball, but maybe not as good as Josh Giddey. So
Yeah,
I
he's
think
their
that,
scorer for sure.
Yeah, so I think that Giddey handles a little bit more of the playmaking, which I think is great. I mean, they definitely could use that, and the Thunder are starting to get a little bit more of a groove going. Obviously, they still suck, but
it's the Thunder.
Yeah, but they might have something cooking in the next couple of years with those two still on the team.
Yeah, I like how much trust they've given Josh Giddey. They were kind of just here you go. We're just gonna start you right off the bat, basically. And he's shown that he deserves it. He's definitely gonna be I see him being. I kind of want to say similar, almost like a Jason Kidd, where he's really good passer, good rebounder, and a meh scorer. Jason Kidd was a pretty good shooter as well, but I see a lot of that in him. I don't know why.
I can partly agree with that. My only thing about Josh Giddey is that if he plays really well, we know what Sam Presti does. They might trade him. We don't know. So he's playing really well. Hopefully he stays with them.
They already have the picks. I feel like at some point they need to hold start actually building
and hold their assets. I guess.
The picks, at some point they got to start building something. They can't just.
The next 2 years, they literally dominate the draft. I don't see why you wouldn't put a lot of your chips into those guys.
Yeah, I feel like now it's now or never. If they're going to start, either they start building now,
or they're going to turn into Bobcats.
Yeah, and they're just not going to have good players ever. They're just going to keep trading it away for no reason. Yeah, no, the Thunder's weird right now.
Yeah. The next player that we are talking about is somebody who I have on my fantasy team, Cunningham.
Yep.
Great player.
Jackass stole that from me on the waiver wire.
I didn't steal anything. Tim was just a dumbass and dropped him.
Yeah, I picked him up. I had him on my waiver claim. You were like one spot ahead of me. Anyways.
But yeah, so he turned around his slow start, which is pretty good. He's starting to lead the rookies in scoring, which is awesome at 15.7 points per game. He's also averaging 5.6 rebounds per game as well as 5.2 assists per game. Doing solid over the stat sheet. He's covering a lot of the boards, and he's really starting to make this Detroit team get in shape for rebuilding. Fully. Obviously they still have more to do and they have to develop him a little bit more, but they should definitely start building around him. And I think that he has a lot of potential to bring to the table. So if they keep him around for this next couple of years, it definitely is going to exponentially help their team in hopefully getting to a playoff run. That's ultimately what their goal is. And I think that Jeremy Grant is a big help with that. So I think that both of them complement each other well, and I think that it's starting to have some clicking for them. Similar to the Thunder, they're not a great team right now, but they have something there that they can work with.
Yeah. And the one thing I wanted to know about Kate Cunningham, I mean, he's a great offensive player, but I think his defense still needs some work. I think he needs to take time to develop that, and maybe a different system like a Tibbs system might be helpful for him to get in that system and get in a mindset of defense. But that's the only negative I can see for Kate.
Solid defender.
He's been okay, but when I've watched him, he hasn't been great. So maybe it's just a select game. Maybe he's like an on and off defender type guy. Like he's good on some days and bad on some days. So maybe consistency is what he needs to look for. But overall, he's a really good player, and I think he can develop really well in the next couple of years, of course. So for the next player, I don't know if you guys have any other comments. I just wanted to just pause there for a second.
Not about Cade. James covered all the bases.
All right. So the next one, Jalen Green. So this guy just came off, I think it was an ankle or knee injury, and that was, that hurt his season a little bit because he was out for, I guess, a few weeks. But again, he's played really well. Barring that injury, and before that injury, he played really well. And I think even after his injury, he's been, getting himself back into the motions. Averaging 15 points, 3 and 2. With him, it's mainly, I guess, trying to mesh with KPJ. And I'm assuming if the Rockets want to go KPJ and Jalen Green is their future, they're just finding that chemistry together. This is the most important part, being the first year rookie that he is, and a KPJ having a little more experience, but still being a young guy. Find that chemistry, and hopefully they can be an amazing duo, for example, like Clay and stuff. I think they can have that capability if they, work together and be able to develop. And also maybe, I guess Steven Silas is a great coach, so hopefully they'll be able to find a system around those two guys. My only thing about Jalen Green is just, I guess, if injuries are still a problem, because his knee injury was kind of a really hard, I guess, not stint, but it was a little hard thing on his resume. So hopefully that doesn't repeat. Maybe he'll get better and he'll be more consistent in the future. But overall, great player. There's not really much qualms against him.
Yeah, so my only problem with Jalen Green right now, and I really want the Rockets to go all in on Jalen Green and KPJ. I think those two together would be great. But right now, both of them are shooting so unbelievably poorly. It's painful to watch. KPJ right now, he's shooting under 40% from the field. So is Jalen Green. Jalen Green is shooting 30% from 3 on 6 attempts a game. It is horrendous. It is really bad. And obviously, they're 19 and 21 years old, respectively. Or Jalen Green. Yeah, Jalen Green's 19 years old. So,
even so, they shouldn't be taking that many shots.
It's really bad, And I don't know. I think that I want to give him a couple more years before anybody counts him out. Jalen Green's quite literally a rookie, so he's fine. He definitely needs to find an offensive system that's going to work for him. Kevin Porter Jr. needs to stop turning the ball over. That's a huge problem for him as well, but that's a different conversation. But, right now I really like Jalen Green, what he's doing, but he just needs to find his rhythm in his shot, because right now it's just not falling the way they need it to.
To deviate slightly, I do think that the two young duos in the league right now that have the capability of having potential like CJ and Dame is Jalen Green and KPJ and Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Mm-hmm. Those are definitely two front court duos that I definitely think have capability to reaching that potential. It's going to take time, and we'll see how they do. We'll see if any of them leave their teams. Let's see if any of them get traded. It's going to take a long time for them to kind of get into a groove with each other. I think Colin Sexton and Darius Garland definitely have that mesh together. So they're definitely starting to have something cooking with Cleveland. As far as Jalen Green and KPJ goes, they're definitely going to need some more time in Houston to be able to take something of it.
Yeah, I like him, though. It's a good young duo. You got anything to say about him?
Nothing. I guess you want to take the next, or did James actually want to talk about this next player?
Yeah, James, you seem like you were more in on this one than I was.
For sure. I'll take Franz Wagner. So basically, the next person that we're talking about is Franz Wagner. Right now, he's leading the rookies in games played, which is at 44 right now, and he hasn't missed since the start of the season. Currently, he's averaging 15 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, and 2.9 assists per game. It might seem a little bit less than the other rookies that we have talked about, but on the court, his presence is so apparent. He helps that Orlando team exponentially, along with Cole Anthony. Those two guys are really stepping up big for that Orlando team, which is absolute garbage. There's literally nobody on that team except for those guys that can actually do something, except maybe Mo Bamba. But
even Mo Bamba's Mo Bamba.
Exactly. So, Franz Wagner as a rookie, him taking this kind of leap is awesome to see. Same thing like I mentioned earlier with Cole Anthony. I mean, he took a massive step since his rookie season. So I think that, this could be a very dangerous duo as well. But I think Franz Wagner is going to continue to develop and continue to show more in the league and prove that he can definitely be the rookie of the year, because he is for sure a dark horse in that race. He's getting a lot of playing time as well. And like I mentioned before, his team is really not that good. So I think that they're giving him the full green light, and I'm excited to see what else he has to do.
Yeah, I love Franz Wagner. He's on the team with his brother, which is weird. Because also Mo Wagner kind of sucks.
It's just hilarious. Everybody thought that Mo was going to be so much better than Franz Wagner.
Yeah, but that's just not the case at all. Did you guys see what happened with Mo? I think it was Mo and Luka.
Yeah,
they were down 20, and Jalen Suggs gets the N1, and then Luka just gets hella pissed. That was funny. But yeah, I like Franz Wagner. I think the main thing about this Orlando Magic team is you think about. You say that there's no one on the team, which is totally true. But, you look at the roster, and it's not everyone sucks.
Yeah.
They don't
they
have,
should. The question is, they shouldn't
Terrence
suck.
Ross. Terrence Ross doesn't blow. He just,
they shouldn't suck. They shouldn't suck.
Right now, I think they've won 7-8 games. That is, something else is going on in Orlando. And it's not just the roster, I think.
To be honest, I think that personally, it's a similar situation to, what was it? I can't think of the team right now, but I think it's the coaching staff. I think that it's higher up in the org.
It's gotta be. Because when you have someone like Cole Anthony right now who's playing great, they got Jalen Suggs as well, who I know he came off of an injury, but he's playing decently well. And Franz Wagner, Mo Bamba. Even though Mo Bamba is not a great scorer or whatever, but he's a solid defensive center. Your team should be better defensively with him. Just on the court, so it's something else is going on in Orlando that they got to figure out.
Yep. I'll just note that Jamal Mosley, this is his first year being a head coach, so this probably is a side effect of that.
That could be.
But for the next guy, Chris Duarte, we actually had a lot of high hopes in our last rookie report for Chris Duarte. He's just on a very lackluster Pacers team, so I think that's the only reason why he's not playing as well. Of course, he's getting a lot of minutes because Brogdon's been out throughout the season, and Karis LeVert was out part of the season, so he's getting minutes, but averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's an average rookie. It's just a really bad situation, just like Franz Wagner. It's a really bad situation for him. Maybe if he gets traded, maybe he gets traded to a better team. But if not, this Pacers team really got to step up. Or just do something. This Pacers team has always been pissing us off because we don't know what they're doing. What their plan is, we have no idea what's going on.
Right now, this Pacers team is a front runner for most disappointing season.
Yes.
We always, I know we talked about it at the beginning, where the Pacers are usually pretty mid. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they hover around like 500, a little bit below, a little bit above. I think they were a little bit above last year. They were like somewhere in like the 55 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, this year, like, something just like, I don't know, bit everyone in the ass, and it's just not working out.
I can tell you what it is. It's
You gonna
because
say it's Rick Carlisle?
no, I really don't feel
It should not be Rick Carlisle.
It definitely is
in
not
my
Rick
eyes.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Sabonis and Turner don't want to freaking be there.
Yeah, probably.
And not to
The
mention
fact
that,
Like, it doesn't help that Malcolm Brogdon's been out for a while.
Yeah, the team
That's it.
morale is just so low that no one cares.
yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't help that they heard. I know they heard all the rumors about like
The
blowing it
trades.
up.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like, of course they heard about that.
And they all know that it's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's enough depressing Pacers talk. Let's talk about a little more exciting team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think you got this one, James.
So mentioning, like I had before, Evan Mobley on the Cleveland Cavaliers, leading the rookie in rebounds currently, and he's doing awesome for them. He's scoring 15 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 1.7 blocks per game. As a rookie, that's pretty damn impressive.
As almost anybody else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, he is actually leading the Cavs in blocks with Jared Allen on the same team playing beside him. Like, Jared Allen is an amazing shot blocker and doing fantastic for my fantasy team. But I digress. But so Evan Mobley is doing awesome, and he's really stepping up for this Cavs team, and I think that they have a big future ahead of them. They're already doing great in the regular season. I'm pretty sure that they are supposed to be in the playoffs right now, if I'm not.
They're like 4th seed in the East, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
So like they're doing pretty good, and the Cavs are really making a massive case for the most improved team, and Mobley has been a large part of that. Especially with Sexton being out on injury too, he's had to make a lot of stuff up, and he's done really well.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving what Evan Mobley's doing for the Cavs. I think he's like one of the most complete products to come out of the draft. We got a lot of solid players like Cade. Josh Giddey's good, Scotty Barnes. But, like, Mobley, you watch him play, and he doesn't play like a rookie. He's got, like, good footwork. He's got a good shot. He's good defensive-minded. Like, he really seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I bet
you guys
Jared
are
Allen knows about that.
You guys pretty much summed it up for me. I mean, Mobley, I think he'll be a great player for many years as long as injuries don't plague him. So that's my little stint on that. I mean that's it for the rookie report. I mean, that's the 4. I guess the 6 guys we really wanted to highlight. It's just some of them really bad situations, some of them really good, and that's probably I think environment's really a main factor in all these players. Maybe if Chris Duarte was on the Raptors or something, he'd be better, but that's not happening. So they got to work with what they got and just play really well. Maybe get traded or just have. Maybe hopefully their team gets better. So speaking of great teams, our debate is finally here. We're going to be talking about the 2017 Warriors versus the 96 Bulls. Recently, of course, this debate came up because Steph Curry was asked about if the Warriors with KD, which is the 2017 Warriors, could beat the 96 Bulls in the finals. His exact quote was absolutely ... You could put us on paper with them. I like our chances. I'd say Dubs in 6-2. Yeah. So that sparked a debate on Twitter and everywhere else in NBA circles. Who would win? So we are going to go into a few little talking points and then give our opinions. And let's start with the lineup, which I'm going to discuss. So with the 96 Bulls, the starting lineup would be Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, and Dennis Rodman. And this does not include Sixth Man of the Year, Steve Kerr, my Sixth Man of the Year, Steve Kerr, that year. But for the Warriors, they got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, KD, Iguodala, Draymond Green. So off lineups alone, personally, I'm going to take the Warriors. Well, I would take the Warriors just blanket off of that. But the next segment, or next part of this, little discussion, James will talk about, it plays a big factor in how these teams interact when they play each other in the finals. So, James, do you want to talk about these the interaction, I guess?
Let me get into my psychoanalysis here. Essentially, what we're discussing here today is the eras in which that they have both played in. You have to keep in mind that the Warriors are playing in a very, very new age where essentially one of their players, Steph Curry, has changed the game in general. There is so much three-point shooting nowadays as well, and with that Warriors team, all of those guys can shoot. Kind of Draymond. But, with that keeping in mind, it's going to be really difficult for the Bulls, who played in the 90s, to be able to kind of keep up with the Warriors' three-point shooting. I mean, KD is an unstoppable shooter. Klay Thompson's an unstoppable shooter. Steph Curry's an unstoppable shooter. It's going to be very difficult to limit those three-point shots. And as we know, threes are more than twos. So, there's going to be a lot more scoring from coming from the Warriors side. On the other hand, 96 Bulls were one of the most defensively aggressive teams. And with that keeping in mind, it's going to be very difficult for the Warriors to be able to bypass all of the Bulls players. And especially some people like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan who can really lock up. So if we're going to have either Jordan on Curry or Klay Thompson, it's going to be very difficult for them to get open shots because Michael's going to be on top of them. And as well as Scottie Pippen, me and Makoto and Reed had talked about this before. Pippen is going to be working KD probably the hardest that he's ever had in his career. So it's definitely going to be a lot of adjusting for the teams to do, and it should be a very interesting matchup. But yeah, I mean, some of these players even cancel out. I mean, Dennis Rodman and Draymond Green even basically do the same kind of maneuvers and don't really score but get a lot of boards. Draymond's a little bit better of a passer, but Dennis Rodman's a little bit better on defense. So, I mean, it's definitely a toss-up for sure.
Yeah, I feel like every time I look at this, it's like I flip-flop. You look at the direct matchups that each person have, and you can take it one matchup at a time. But I think the main thing to worry about, to think about when it comes to this, like you just said, was the era. The fact that the Warriors were taking, I don't even know how many threes they were taking, but I mean, I can tell you it was definitely a lot more than the Bulls were taking, or whoever the Bulls were playing against. So I feel like it's almost like impossible to even, hypothesize with it without actually just seeing it in action, because I mean, you got guys like Kevin Durant, you can't stop him, he's going to score 25 probably. I mean, he's going to have to work for it for sure, and I mean, you look at Mike and is Mike really going to let Steph take all those, crazy contested threes? Like Steph is going to get him off, but I feel like Mike's pride is just going to hit him too hard, and he's just going to he's just going to lock Steph up.
He's going to take it personal.
No, he's definitely going to take it personal.
Take it personal.
Which is what makes Mike so dangerous. But I don't know. I mean, me personally, I want to take the Warriors just because of the fact that they shoot so many threes, and I feel like, I do want to say though, in a 7-game series, Phil Jackson is probably going to have his team figure out how to defend the three at some point, but I just don't know if you're going to be able to really stop Steph, Klay, and Kevin Durant, it just seems like it's too much, and then you got scorers on the other team, Mike and Scottie are going to be the main scorers for sure, and is anybody going to be able to lock them up? Hell no. No. So this is such a toss-up for me.
Yeah, and not to mention, their coach is playing on the Bulls right now, Steve Kerr, who probably knows the Bulls the best out of anybody, assuming that Kerr is coaching and playing at the same time with the knowledge that he has of the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, how would that work? If we went back in time and somehow brought the Bulls in,
you bring
Steve
him back.
Kerr would have to coach against himself.
Yeah, he has to coach against himself. So that would be interesting. 2 Kerrs on the court, one coaching and one playing. My little thing about I think the X factor right now for me, even though I'm leaning towards Warriors, is Tony Kukoc, because he's an amazing defender, amazing scorer. He might be able to just outscore and just play Iguodala and whoever's matched up against him. And if you've watched, of course, the Jordan documentary along with some of his games, he was really good. Like, even when Jordan was out, he basically took over the offense at some nights. So he's able to do that and take over. Same with Ron Harper, basically being, I think, a facilitator. I think he was like mainly a scoring, facilitating guard, to my understanding. So he'll basically be the Chris Paul, and he's
like
pretty. What is it?
He's like a
slashing playmaker. And he's pretty much Chris Paul, essentially. But I don't know if he can shoot as well as Chris Paul, but he's definitely the Chris Paul type. If I would say on that team. What?
I don't know if I would compare Ron Harper to Chris Paul.
I'm talking about in terms of
that was a bit of a hot take.
It was a hot take, but I'm talking about, and it's not going to be as good. But I'm talking about like in terms of play style and how impact he's going to be on that lineup compared to the Warriors. But that's just my.
Dude. I mean, because like just looking at, I mean, obviously stats don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, I think Reed's lagging out. He is lagging out. So, do we want to move on to James? Do you think we should move on to who will win and how many games while Reed's fixing his internet?
Yeah. I mean, like, I definitely.
I think we should just say who's going to win how many games.
He thinks that the Ducks. Yeah. So I think that Bulls in 7.
You say Bulls in 7?
I'll go Bulls in 7.
Bulls in 7. I definitely say I'm still leaning towards Warriors. So I think Warriors in 7 is going to be really close. Again, this is a toss up for most debates, and Reed's out. This is a toss up for most debates. I think it's Warriors in 7, and I think
I think
and you're lagging as well.
I mean, well, my bad, but I definitely think that good.
All right, so Reed's going to join in on the James side. Do you want to give your game, who's going to win and how many games? You want to drop that in there right now?
I think it's a 7-game series for sure. Whoever you guys have, because I missed. I don't know. Did you guys give your takes there?
I just said that I think it would be Bulls in 7.
And I said Warriors in 7.
7-game series. I wanted to say Bulls. I want to say Warriors. It's like
it's hard. It's a really hard decision.
I want to say Warriors just because I feel like they're going to be able. I think I don't see this Bulls team being able to like stop the three as much.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely fair.
And like they're not going to like fight fire with fire. Like Mike's not going to start chucking up like 10.
That's true. The only thing that I really do believe that the Bulls would do better is their offense because the Warriors don't have as much defense to guard like Mike.
That's very true.
Yeah, especially if Mike takes it personally. He is going to score 60 that game, and it's nothing's going to stop him. Yeah,
like Clay's a good defender, but Mike's giving Clay 40.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's very difficult, hypothetical to decide.
I think the X factor if he takes it personally. I think we ended on that. I think we should end it on that. Is that Mike takes it personally, Bulls are winning no matter what.
Yeah, comment down below.
Comment down below. Indeed. Well, yeah, that is it for the little discussion. We haven't really had a debate style. It's just kind of a discussion because it just came up. Because I don't think you could argue either way. Again, I think I probably would have argued for the Warriors, but James would argue for the Bulls. But it could go either way. But yeah, that is it for this episode. So remember to subscribe, like, and comment on the YouTube. Also, there's ratings on Spotify now, so leave a 5-star rating on Spotify and on Apple Music, and subscribe to the podcast there.
Check out our new website.
We have a new website.
WordPress.com. Just launched it the other day.
Yes.
We'll be posting content there as well, and also you can see pictures of us as well.
And learn about us as people. So yeah, we have that as well. It'll be in the link trees and all of our socials. So yeah, you can check Twitter, Instagram. We have everything in there as well. So yeah, shouting out everything at the episode. But yeah, that is it for all of us. We will see y'all next week, and we'll hopefully keep y'all updated on the All-Star and MVP voting and all that stuff in the coming weeks. So yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah.